Hey guys, what's up? I'm really excited to talk about editing and the power of editing, the art of editing, because it's what first kind of got me into filmmaking when I saw you could put clips together and tell a story with different angles, and it's really fun. So I want to show you, it's really messy in here. That's embarrassing. So let's just peace out. And that's what I love about editing. We totally just switch location, switch the mood of the video because of that cut. So as the editor, you're the person that sees the film last. It kind of is, last stop is the editor. You know, of course it's gonna go into color and sound and mixing, but you're the one that compiles like what 200 people were working on in this feature film. Your job is to find performance. And a lot of editors have a rule of thumb, the really good ones, that performance is the most important thing that you look for. And you know, honestly, figuring out what a good performance is, that's kind of a hard thing to figure out. There's no rule or book that says this is what a good performance is. But for me, if it's, you know, doing an emotional scene, it's something that moves you. If it's funny, it's something that kind of makes you laugh or chuckle the hardest. But you just need to trust your own gut when you make the final call. And after you've laid out and spliced together all your clips, and they're not just in order, but they bring the story forward and move the characters forward, I would show it to somebody. And so I like to, when I'm playing my videos for my family or my friends, I'm not watching the screen. I've seen it a million times. I'm watching their faces. If you see people get bored, of course you know you need to work on that. It's stretched out too much. If you want to know a lot more about editing in a cool kind of way that hadn't been explained to me, check out this book by Walter Murch. This is a great book because he talks about a cool concept, and the concept is blinking. He found out he would cut at the exact time someone would blink. And so if you're thinking about it here, you're having a conversation with someone and you're talking, I'm gonna say, and that's the end of the story, and then blink. Right when my eyes blink there naturally, that is usually when he would cut. And so if you go along that principle, following kind of two principles, eye line is really important. When a person moves their eye and I start to look at the second camera, then we cut there. And you know, it makes a cut more powerful. Notice this, if I go ahead and blink, it's like that phrase was finished, and it brings you back to this camera. So look at that in your own videos. Blinking is a great place to cut. It's not always like you have to cut when someone blinks. That's not what it's about. It's kind of helping you if you can't see where the phrase is. And so that's the second thing you need to work on is your pacing. So first is performance, and then you go to the tempo and the pacing, figuring out if it's an action scene. You know, the Bourne Ultimatum has cut, shot, because it's action, it's high intensity. You know, there's a lot going on. We want to see, you're looking back and is someone chasing you, or if you're running forward and we want to see your feet, we want to know what's going on around you. You know, you hit somebody, you're gonna see their reaction. What I like to do is, especially when we're going from a stationary shot to a moving shot, cut during the action, like a dramatic action. So for example, so you can see cutting between those two cameras with that dramatic motion right as the cut point, it really helped. The third final thing that I think is really important for an editor to understand is to actually take breaks. Get away from your work, go outside for a walk is what I like to do. With a fresh mind, I get to kind of come back and be like, oh, what was I thinking? You know, that doesn't look good at all. It's kind of like when you go back and watch an old video that you've made and you're like, those cuts don't make sense at all. Or that camera angle, I mean, it's everything you kind of critique. But especially the editing for me is something, is there a bee on my head? Weird. Okay, there actually was a bee, but anyway. So make sure you take adequate breaks from your editing and really, you know, step away, clear vision when you come back and watch it. Maybe you put it away for a couple days if you can. If you're under a tight deadline, that's hard to do. But again, it's something I've really learned. So the three things, performance. You gotta pick the performance that moves the story forward. And then the second thing is figuring out the tempo. The timing, is it's fast, it's slower, and it's not just fast and slow, there's so many in-betweens. It's really pacing your film. And then the third thing, take breaks, step back, show people, but also for yourself, just refresh and then watch again. So, you know, those are a couple tips for editing. As far as the technical editing, we've got a lot of tutorials that can teach you, a lot of free stuff and a couple paid courses, so you can check those out. Again, you can go to kingfilmschool.com, and under the resources page you can see more about how to edit, the actual technical terms. I mean, there's hours and hours of stuff we could talk about. And yeah, so I hope that helps you guys with your editing. Peace out, we'll see you in the next lesson.